Tudor should make this exact watch. This would fly out of the authorized dealers. Here is my idea. The Tudor Black Bay Chronograph Panda and Reverse Panda. How did you guys like that intro? It was a little silly, a little tongue-in-cheek, but it helps illustrate my history with this watch in specifically doing a video well over a year before the watch came out, asking Tudor to make the Panda and the Reverse Panda and how well that would be received by the watch community. And then to see them do that, that was so exciting. And then to finally be able to purchase one, I don't know. This is a significant watch for me, even though horologically speaking, yes, it's good value, but it's not crazy in its significance. It's just significant to me because I feel like I have some ownership here. And I recognize, it's not rocket science to predict a Panda and a Reverse Panda iteration. It is technically possible that Tudor has been planning this, but you know what? They waited, 4 years, 5 years? They didn't think of it. They came out with a two-tone version first and with a all-black PVD version first before they did what everybody would be exceptionally excited about. Nobody else was predicting it or asking for it. So I like to claim a little bit of ownership, and that's fun for me. So again, this is the Tudor Black Bay Chrono, the M79360N, the 002 reference. This was released in April of 2021, and the retail price is $5,225 on the bracelet. And you can opt for this on a number of different strap options, and I believe that takes the price down a little bit, but I think this is best on the bracelet. And you guys know me, I am a bracelet fan. I love a good bracelet, and this is a very sharp bracelet, even though it does carry the faux rivet style, which I know most watch enthusiasts just don't love. It looks a little bit hokey, a little bit gimmicky, and they would prefer just a clean taper. Now let's talk about the movement. We have the manufacturer caliber 5813, which essentially is a Breitling B01 base that was produced for Tudor since 2017. This is COSC certified. This does come with a 5-year transferable warranty. Your name will not be on the warranty card. We have 47 joules, a 70-hour power reserve, 28,800 beats per hour, and all of the goodies that we like as watch enthusiasts with a column wheel chronograph, a vertical clutch, a silicone hairspring, a free-sprung balance, variable inertia regulation for the system of regulating the movement. And instead of a 30-minute counter that you would get on a typical B01, you have a 45-minute counter here on this Tudor edition. And then instead of having elapsed hours like a typical B01, we have a nice void here on the dial with the date displayed at the 6 o'clock position. So it's very balanced. It's very beautiful. And here is the unique thing. A comparable Breitling B01 found in a Navitimer or a Chronomat, you're going to be spending at least $8,000 generally, depending on the version that you're getting. And with this, $5,000, almost half the price in some instances, you really see the value. And you could argue that this is nicer than the Breitling execution because you do have the anti-magnetic properties, the variable inertia regulation system, and I think that's pretty cool. Now we have 200 meters of water resistance, a screw-down crown, screw-down function pushers, we have a matte anodized aluminum bezel insert, and we have a lovely opaline dial with sunken black registers, good contrast here, and the classic snowflake hands. And you can come at me. I know some of you hate the snowflake hands. And to you, I say you're absolutely crazy. The snowflake hands they're Tudor, and they're unique, and they're cool, and they're legible. in low light. But yes, I will say during certain times, if you're operating the chronograph, that snowflake hand can obscure parts of those registers and make it very difficult to read. So it's not what you would call a completely practical application, but I wouldn't change these hands for anything. No way. And you can fight me about that. I'm right, you're wrong, essentially. Now, continuing here, we have a domed sapphire crystal, and I can't get any confirmation of anti-reflective treatment, but just by looking at it, there might be one layer on the underside. If there is, it's not a fantastic application of anti-reflective treatment. The overall diameter is 41.5 millimeters. We have a 50.3 millimeter lug-to-lug dimension with a 14.1 overall height, and that's to the top of the domed box sapphire crystal. And then we have a 22 millimeter lug width tapering down 4 millimeters to 18 millimeters at the clasp. And I will say this is a very nice clasp. We have ceramic ball bearing closures for the detent of both the flip lock and the main portion of the clasp. And then if you look at it, you can see some repetition of form with the Tudor shield found throughout the clasp. We have a Tudor shield logo on the dial below the 12 o'clock triangular marker. And then if you look at the signed crown, you have the classic Tudor rose logo. And I've got to say, I prefer the rose. I think most of you also prefer the rose. And so how cool would this be if it had the Tudor rose on the dial and maybe some repetition of form in the clasp of the rose? I'm all for that personally, but let's talk about the finish. We have good circular brushing on the tops of these lugs. We have a polished side to this case and then very sharp polished beveled edges. The case has been reprofiled and it is noticeably thinner than the original Black Bay chronograph, which really felt like a slab, a chunk of metal on the wrist. And I get similar feelings as I consider the Black Bay GMT and the standard Black Bay diver. I don't feel that way about this Black Bay chrono. The way they've reprofiled the case, I think, makes a nice difference. And then with the step of the bezel and the step of the box sapphire crystal, there seems to just be a natural progression when it comes to the height. And so, no, I don't find this uncomfortable. I don't find this cumbersome or anything like that. Now, I think it's a little bit more comfortable than the classic diver. Now let's talk about something that I think is important if you're considering purchasing this watch, and that is the stiffness of the winding. This is noticeably stiff, and I found that to be the case with every B01 movement that I have handled or that I've filmed, and it doesn't matter if it's a Breitling or another Tudor, it's noticeably stiff. It's not quite as smooth as, say, a Valjoux 7750 base chronograph or a Lemania based chronograph like in a moon watch. And so you could find that off-putting. You know, you're spending $5,000 and this you're not going to be able to find discounts on. In fact, you'll be fortunate if you're offered one at an authorized dealer. Everyone that I've talked to that owns this watch has waited at least 6 months for it. I waited 8 months for it. And so, you're not going to be able to get a discount and you're spending $5,000. You want complete refinement, I think, especially if you're a first-time luxury buyer. But you're not going to find that feel in the winding action of this movement. It will feel stiff. And that's normal. If you go in on a macro level, you can see just the faintest hint of a stutter as the chronograph is engaged. And that also very normal for a Breitling B01 based movement. In fact, I've found that more common on the Breitling calibers. At least it looks more pronounced with the stutter. Again, nothing to be alarmed about there. The actuation is sharp, it's crisp, it's pleasant mechanically. I like the screw down features here, or the function pushers, and I like the instantaneous date changeover feature at midnight. The tactile elements are pleasant, especially those ceramic ball bearing elements in the clasp, and the low light execution of this loom here is very satisfying, especially for a chronograph that really borders on dive watch levels of satisfaction. So considering the watch as a whole, the fit, the finish, the bracelet, the quality here, the value when you compare to other Tudors and when you compare to other chronographs, specifically from Breitling and Omega, this really is a potent release that I'm so excited about. And again, I feel a little bit of ownership in. So I love the fact, at least I like to say, I love the fact that Tudor took my suggestion seriously and found merit in my idea, in my suggestions. And yes, I do plan on adding the black dial at some point in the future. That one has more contrast. You do have better legibility with the black dial iteration, and you don't get that milky, ring found around the circumference of this lovely silvered opaline dial. I can't get over the dial here with that slight reflection on the 3D printing of Tudor and Geneve, the use of red, how long the hands are. Really, this is a sharp watch. A few negative elements for sure, but overall, such an exciting piece. And I will say, Tudor, I know you like to watch my videos. Let's talk about additional ideas. I have some of those, but next time, I'm charging. Guys, thanks for watching today. Let me know if you have any specific questions. If you're looking for Tudor, I will recommend Brent L. Miller Jewelers. They are the authorized dealer that I've bought this from. I bought my Royal from. I've purchased several watches from them. They're excellent. They're over in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Brad's contact information will be in the description of the video. Again, reach out with questions. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, I just finished editing that presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm actually wearing the watch right now. Really enjoy wearing the watch. And I just wanted to do a little channel update and ask you guys a question. We are sitting at about 86,800 subscribers, and I would love to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. So if you're still here, if you're still watching and you are not subscribed, I would appreciate if you would help me get to that threshold. That would mean a lot. And I wanted to ask you guys, is there any specific watch you would like me to cover? Do the macro video, do the lume shots, the wrist rolls, all of that stuff. Please place that in the comment section and I will do my best to get that watch here and present it. And it doesn't matter if it's a $100,000 watch or $100 watch. I want to present what you're interested in. So let me know if you have any requests. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you guys next time.